If you're a local business owner, I want you to watch this video. If you have a roofing business, maybe you have a restaurant, maybe you're a beautician, in some way you serve your local area. Maybe you're a car dealership, or maybe you're a mechanic. This video, I've made it for you because we can lower your ad costs, and I'm going to show you a way to do that. The second group of people that might want to watch this are people that would like to serve those businesses. So you want to run some kind of marketing agency where you're supporting those businesses and helping them grow. Everyone else by now, hopefully they've clicked off, they've gone somewhere else, because it's the local business owner that this video is going to help. What I want to talk to you about today is ads and how you can lower your ads cost. See, most local businesses that run ads find them very expensive. Now, I'm going to talk specifically about Meta ads, but we can talk about Google ads and all kinds of ads within this. And what I want to compare it to is a local newsletter ad. So very simply, a local newsletter is what it says on the box. You are going to once a week publish a local newsletter which has in it events and news that relate to the local area. So if you live in a place, let's call it Fairford, and let's imagine that Fairford has got 10,000 population, then you would cover events and news that relate to Fairford. Now, don't worry, because you're not going to have to spend hours to write these things. AI can actually do the research for you. You can use the tool like Perplexity, and I'm going to make a video on this in the future, very, very soon. And AI can go and find these events for you. You could do a very, very quick search on Facebook, and find them using the events tab. And the same with local news. And this is not an essay. You know, you're talking 500-600 words that AI is going to write for you, and you publish this out once a week. And at the very top of every single newsletter is your business as an ad. And every single week, anybody who's subscribed to the local newsletter is going to see your business, because you own the newsletter, which means your business gets to go at the top. And the nice thing about local newsletter ads is they have an average cost of 20 to 50 cents. Now, this number will vary. It's going to vary in quite a few things, like how much competition you've got, how big the area is. It's going to vary based on how good your copy and your creative are. What I mean by that is the writing that goes with your ad and the picture that you pick. Now, again, I'm going to help you with all of this in the next few videos. I'm going to show you how you can get these costs down. What I'll tell you now is if your ads are over $1 per subscriber to get people onto your local newsletter list, you want to turn them off and start again. The exception to that would be if you're in a really, really big place, like over 1 million or something. But again, I'm going to help you get those ad costs lower if your area you're targeting is that big. We'll talk about what you can do to lower your costs. But instead of running ads directly to your business, we're going to run ads to get people onto this local newsletter. And once a week, you're going to give them free access to a newsletter that is free, that covers events and covers news that they actually care about. And because the newsletter is free, it's very cheap to get people to opt in. Like, they'll be more than happy to receive an email from you once a week that actually helps them plan their weekend and 5 things to do. But because you're getting in front of a local warm audience every week with your ad, because you can put your ad inside your local newsletter, then you get this cheap advertising, because you run the ad to get people onto the newsletter. And then once they're on the newsletter list, every single week they see your business. And from that point onwards, it's free. It costs you 20 cents to get them on the list. But after that, it doesn't cost you everything. And you're going to turn up week after week after week in front of them. They might not need your service right now, but when they do, they've seen you maybe 10, 20, 30 times week in, week out. And you've provided them with value, because you've sent them every single week a newsletter that's been helpful to them. So when they think about getting their car fixed, or finding a restaurant to have a birthday party, or maybe they need a plumber, they're going to remember you and you're going to get the call. So just to take a look at what local businesses normally pay, because you might not be currently running ads for your local business. Lawyers, we're looking at $50 to $200 per lead. So this is normally on Google per click. It's a little bit complicated, but basically to get somebody to come over to the lawyer's website, $50 to $200, and that will vary again where you live, what kind of lawyer you are, that kind of thing. But that's per lead. That's not per customer. It just means they're coming over to your website. Doesn't mean they're actually going to hire you. Now for a lawyer, yeah, maybe they can absorb such high costs because they might end up charging $2,000 or $5,000 for their service. It's still a lot of money. Roofers, $20 to $100 per lead. Again, not per customer. We're just getting them onto your website. You've got to then convert them into a paying customer. Plumbers, $15 to $60. I've seen it as high as $100 or $200 if you're an emergency plumber. So somebody wants like a 24-hour call out and they're going to come to you. Restaurants might be $1 to $5. Now, there are things you can do to lower these costs to get to the lower end. And again, actually, if you'd like me to make a video on that, just put lower ad costs down in the comments and I can tell you what it is. But you're never going to get as close to under $1 by running ads directly to your business. But by collecting the people that live in the area where your business serves onto an email list, and all you have to do once a week is send them some events, some news, some live music, some discounts that are going on. Once a week, and AI is going to write it for you. 500 words. So you got to send them once a week, and they will see your business week in, week out, week in, week out. They're going to see you there, and you're going to be able to get in front of them for very, very cheap. So how do we do this? Well, let's just take a look at some numbers because I have this little calculator. Again, if you'd like to play around with this, just put calculator down in the comments. So let's look at some numbers so we can really start to compare. Let's imagine you've got an ads budget of $300 a month. That's quite conservative. Now, remember what I said, we're going to talk about Facebook ads or meta ads. So these are ads that are going to be running on Instagram and they're going to run on Facebook. And there's a 2-for-1 strategy with this as well, which I'll talk to you about in a second. So let's imagine our cost per click to get people through to sign up to our newsletter from the Facebook ad. They're going to sign up to the newsletter. It's 50 cents. Now, sign up rates are really high for local newsletters. Now, I'll talk about that more in another video, but essentially, they're really low friction. And what I mean by that, if you've ever engaged with a Facebook ad that uses something called a leads ad, which is what we use for local newsletters, is that when you click on the ad, your information's already pre-filled in. You might have seen that. Your email address is already there. Your telephone number is already there. Your name is already there. So when people are like, oh yeah, I'll sign up for a local newsletter in my local area. I'd love to find out about live music and events and discounts. What happens is people click on the button to sign up in Facebook ads, and then it's already filled out with their name and everything, and all they have to do is hit submit and it's done. And that's another way of keeping these costs really, really low. So when we get more into ads and stuff, we can focus on conversion rates and things like that, but we're not going to do that. Let's imagine you've got no subscribers so far, and let's look at a 12-month time period. So $300, we're going to get 600 subscribers onto our newsletter. 300 times 2 is 600. So if we go down here, there we go. So just had that button on and it should be off. So $300 is going to turn it into 600 clicks. 600 subscribers, sorry. And then if we look at this number, over the course of 6 months, we should have over 3,000 subscribers. When you get to this point with 600 subscribers, you can go to your local network, the people that you know who have businesses. Maybe you're in a networking group, and say to them, look, I've got a list of locals in the area, 600 on my list. You need to market to them. I market to them. Do you want to put an ad in my newsletter? I mean, which local business would not want to get in front of 600 people? If you're like, give me $50 for 3 months and try it out. And then you can say to the person that you're offering to put their business in your newsletter as well, look, first month I've got 600. Next month, I'm going to have 1,200. Next month, 1,800, 2,400, 3,000, and so on. So if they give you $50, $50 a month for 3 to 4 months, by the end of that, they're potentially getting in front of a total of 3,000 subscribers on your newsletter. Plus, that $50 each month is covering your ad cost, isn't it? Because you're no longer spending $300. You can put that $50 back into the pot, and you're now only paying $250. If we take something like the roofers, and let's say their cost per click is $20, we've got the same budget, 15 clicks. 15 clicks going through to the website. That's 15 leads for the same amount of money, and there's no guarantee that they will convert. And yes, I know there's no guarantee that the subscribers will convert. Can't guarantee that, but you're definitely getting in front of way more people. Definitely, definitely. And if you go at the lower end, 0.2, 1,500 subscribers you could be getting if you haven't got a huge amount of competition, and then those numbers go up and up and up. So this is why a local newsletter is so powerful. And if you've got any further questions about doing this for your business, I beg you, please go down to the comments and write a question, because every question you ask, I can turn into a video for you, and I can post it up onto this YouTube channel. So as I said, we'll talk more about ads, and we'll talk more about the benefits for you as a business owner for running a local newsletter in the next video. See you in the next one.